member of and spokesperson for the organizing committee of the Midland Innovation and Technology Charter School. Chris has served for over 37 seasons as the play-by-play voice of the Robert Morris University Colonials basketball team, calling more than 1,100 NCAA Division I games. He has also worked for a variety of radio stations during his career, including WBVP and WNBA. Gas prices are 10 cents higher in Western PA this week at $3.83 per gallon, according to AAA East Central's gas price report. Today's national average is 19 cents more than a month ago and the same as a year ago. The average price here in Beaver County is right at the average with $3.83. Our newscast this hour is being brought to you by St. Barnabas, the perfect place for mom.
Falling in love is one thing. Having anxiety about falling is a whole different subject. If you or a family member are concerned about falling, and yes, either up or down the stairs, or maybe even out of bed, St. Barnabas has a special message and some ideas just for you. Years of experience in working with people who are prone to falls has given St. Barnabas special expertise in this area. Call them at 724-443-0700 and learn about ways that you can begin to feel more confident and safe, including suggestions that you can implement right now into your daily routine. Call St. Barnabas at 724-443-0700. For many years now, St. Barnabas has been helping people fall in love, that is, with their new, better life, a longer life, a risk-free life. Call St. Barnabas now at 724-443-0700 or visit stbarnabashealthsystem.com and learn more about living longer and better.
Here's the Beaver County forecast.
Mostly cloudy today. We have a chance of showers and thunderstorms in the late afternoon through the early evening. Some of the storms could produce hail and damaging wind gusts. We'll see a high near 74. Showers and thunderstorms are likely tonight. We'll drop down to a mild low of just 56. Rain likely tomorrow. Otherwise, mostly cloudy with a high near 67. And showers and thunderstorms possible in the early afternoon on Thursday. Otherwise, mostly cloudy with a high near 69. I'm Lisa Marie with your Beaver County weather.
On this Tuesday, April the 9th of 2024, at 10 minutes past 9, we've got a temperature of 56 degrees with partly sunny skies in Beaver County. That's a look at the news for now. I'm Curtis Walsh on 99.3 FM and AM 1230 WBVP, also streaming live around the world at beavercountyradio.com.
Now, it's time to talk on Teleforum on Beaver County Radio. 1230 WBVP, 1460 WMBA, 99.3 FM, and beavercountyradio.com. And now, here is the host of the show, Eddie Crow.
Yesterday was a wonderful day. You know what happened yesterday? Yeah, I know, the eclipse. Yesterday, you realize what we did as a society. I don't know if you noticed it. I noticed it. For about 2.5 hours yesterday, we stopped screaming at each other about politics, and we posted the pictures that will eventually lead to our blindness in unison. It was a wonderful bonding stretch of time. And we're going to continue that today, because everything's going to tie in. Later on in the program is Teleforum. My name is Eddie Crow. You can call 724-843-1888 or 774-1888. Later on in the program, if you want to get back to screaming and yelling, okie doke. Got it covered. Going to talk about student loans, going to talk about Fetterman and squatters, going to talk about TikTok, going to talk about several things that will get you wound up. However, if you've been listening this morning with Mike, you heard Curtis, and you heard Mike talking about it too. Tourism in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. I'm going to get into that as a topic, but this couldn't work out better because that ties in with my first guest, who is now going on the live Facebook feed. Kaitlyn's here.
Hi, I'm here.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Kaitlyn Karczewski. Am I getting better at saying that?
You're getting closer. It's Karczewski.
You're so nice. You're getting better.
You're getting better.
Karczewski. I know, Kay. We're neighbors, so to speak. you were with the Old Economy Village. That's right across the street from where I live.
Yep.
I've seen you walk in and out of there, and I've almost yelled, and I thought that would be really creepy.
It might startle me.
Right. But seems like it's getting busier. What's going on? I know Bicentennial. I know you just opened, but we got a lot of stuff to go through. Old Economy Village is right in the heart of Ambridge. It's the facility, I guess, or what do you call it?
Museum, historic site.
It's the historic site surrounded by antique stores.
Yep.
Okay,
Yeah.
right on Church Street between 9th and or 15th and 13th.
Yeah, I would say that's correct.
So what's going on? Because I see people. Here's how I know stuff's up at Old Economy Village. People start showing up, walking in front of my house wearing bonnets. I'm dead serious.
Yeah,
I'm
you were
not
correct.
joking. Yeah.
You are correct.
Right.
There's a lot going on. We just opened for the season this past weekend, and my goodness, is our calendar, I think, the fullest it will ever be at this point.
For people that don't know and have never been to Old Economy Village, how would you describe it?
It is, I would describe it as maybe like a mini Williamsburg almost.
Okay.
I mean, we're not as big as Williamsburg by any stretch, but we are a historic site, and we focused on the Lutheran separatist group from Germany called the Harmony Society, who left Germany to seek essentially religious freedom, and they set up their area of operations
one of the places
in the United
stopped.
States. Yeah, this was their final resting place, essentially.
How many people around here grew up around here and have never been to Old Economy Village or the local stuff?
I run the gift shop on the weekends. The amount of people who are like, "Oh, I've been here all my life and I've never been here," like, is beyond incredible to me. It's right in your backyard, and people seem to ignore it.
Do you have a favorite thing about it? We've interviewed a few different times, and we've talked a few different times. You love everything about it.
Yeah.
But do you have a favorite at Old Economy Village?
My favorite's the gardens. I love like midday taking a walk down there, and just it feels like a nice quiet space in the middle of a busy small town, I feel like.
Well, that's a main drag. Yeah, that's people getting on and off 65. They turn on one of the numbered streets and hop on Church.
Yep.
So what's the first thing coming up?
So, this week we have a couple of things coming up. So, tomorrow we do have a lecture being presented by Steve Mahaley. He is doing his Marketing the Presidency. It's 125 years of like presidential campaigns, and he has so many artifacts.
Wait, Marketing the Presidency?
Yeah.
Oh, that sounds really interesting.
Oh my God. He has like a vast collection of like kind of campaign like tchotchkes that presidents have used over the years, and he's a very vast collection. He's bringing a couple to show. He's doing a 50-minute presentation. It's free to the public.
What time?
It's 6 to 7, but come early. You can see our bicentennial exhibit.
That is really, and what you're talking about is the free stuff that presidents gave out. Has it ever happened that the president or the candidate was crap, but he gave out really cool stuff?
I'm not entirely sure. I'm very excited to learn a lot more tomorrow night. I'm quite excited to see all the objects he's going to bring. It's really a fascinating aspect of presidential campaigns.
Everything that's upcoming with Old Economy Village, there is a website and it's all listed. Please, before we get too deep into all the stuff, what is the website?
The website is www.oldeconomyvillage.org. You can also find us on Facebook.
I follow Jens on Facebook, and that's how I knew you guys opened up this weekend. What does it mean to open up? What are the hours, and when people say, "Oh, they're open, let's go," what can they do?
So for opening up for us is we now open on the weekends, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. And this is your chance to tour the site, see demonstrations like blacksmithing and woodworking. We have a variety of them during different weekends. So it's your time to explore the site for the summer.
You've been looking forward to it all winter, haven't you?
I'm ready for this year.
How much excitement adds on to that because of the bicentennial? How much pressure adds on to that because you're one of the main people organizing this?
A lot of pressure, but it's also really fun. It's going to be a big to-do, and I can't wait to kind of celebrate the village itself just because 200 years is pretty incredible. So I'm quite excited about it.
Just so good to see. All right, I got plenty more questions. Let me take care of this. Don't go anywhere. Kaitlyn Karczewski is, did I get it right? I didn't. Karczewski.
Karczewski. One day.
Hey, well, no, the date. Never mind. Kaitlyn's here.
Thinking of what's good for lunch or dinner? Make it McDonald's with a hot and spicy McChicken sandwich available now for a limited time only. Enjoy crispy, tender chicken seasoned with a bold mix of spices, topped with shredded lettuce mayo, and served on a perfectly toasted bun. McDonald's, I'm loving it.
Hi, folks. I'm with our good friend John Diagardi from Roe Monument. John, you were telling me earlier that people really should not rush into choosing a memorial for their loved one. Now, why is that?
We found that families need to take ample time to grieve first. Grief is not something that we get over, but rather something that we learn to live with. So the length of time to grieve varies from person to person.
You mentioned that the monument can't be placed right away.
That's right. There are certain things that need to take place before a monument can be installed. So it's really worth taking time to think about how to plan and design a memorial that truly reflects a person's life. It's actually a healing activity that helps to alleviate grief.
John, this makes a lot of sense.
It does. And when the time is right to proceed, not only can Roe Monument help families choose and design their memorial, we can help them save as much as 50% by eliminating the middleman.
Thank you, John. Folks, you can learn more simply by visiting RoeMonuments.com.
Here's Dale Reckless from MRS Physical Therapy as he explains the importance of pre-sports testing to help you reduce the risk of injury.
The intrinsic factors are looking at things within our body that could be causing the problem. So that we start to look at as physical therapists, shoulder range of motion, forces at the elbow, things like that. We're looking at the whole kinetic chain. For example, turning your head side to side. If you have less than 39 degrees of that motion, you have a 9 times increased likelihood of an injury. So these intrinsic factors are both measurable and modifiable. So as a physical therapist, I can take a baseball player or any kind of athlete, I can do my tests on them and see if they're within normal limits or outside of normal limits. And based on research that's been done, I can tell if there's a likelihood of injury or not.
If you need physical therapy for any reason, choose the place your friends and neighbors do. MRS Physical Therapy in Bridgewater and Cranberry. Visit mrsphysicaltherapy.com.
Let's face it, work is a large part of your life. Why not choose a job that allows the opportunity of a fulfilling career working with people who appreciate you? St. Barnabas Health System is looking for extraordinary, service-minded people to join our team. Earn and learn with career opportunities on our clinical, housekeeping, and food service teams. For more information and to apply, visit stbarnabashealthsystem.com or call 724-444-JOBS. Jobs that are apart from the ordinary. Find them at St. Barnabas Health System.
When you talk about community involvement and safety, the name Fry stands at the forefront in Beaver County. Fry Transportation's mission is to continue to raise the bar as the gold standard in their industry by providing the safest, most reliable, and cost-efficient transportation service in Beaver County through their strong relationships with their communities, best-in-their-class drivers, equipment, and technology. There's nothing more important than the safety of their students, employees, and community members. Fry Transportation, where the quality of their organization is characterized by the makeup of the individual behind the wheel.
Here's the Beaver County forecast.
Mostly cloudy today. We have a chance of showers and thunderstorms in the late afternoon through the early evening. Some of the storms could produce hail and damaging wind gusts. We'll see a high near 74. Showers and thunderstorms are likely tonight. We'll drop down to a mild low of just 56. Rain likely tomorrow. Otherwise, mostly cloudy with a high near 67. And showers and thunderstorms possible in the early afternoon on Thursday. Otherwise, mostly cloudy with a high near 69. I'm Lisa Marie with your Beaver County weather.
It is reasonably sunny compared to yesterday. I hope everybody had fun. It was beautiful, not because it was beautiful, but it was beautiful. Everybody shut up and stopped screaming for about 2.5 hours. It's 21 minutes after 9. Kaitlyn is here, and we're talking about Old Economy Village, and you've got a speaker tomorrow night. Mm-hmm. You've got a dinner this weekend, don't you?
Yes.
Okay.
So
I always know when there's a dinner when I look out and I see people very overdressed for my typical neighborhood. Mm-hmm. It's like, oh, well, there's something good going on.
So we are having our murder mystery dinner theater event again. We partnered with the Ambridge Rotary Club. We did this last year, and we're doing it again this year. It seemed to be a hit. But the show is Mobsters, Moles, and Marinara. So it's a mob gang.
Mob pasta kind of thing?
Yeah.
All right.
They are serving pasta.
Sure.
But it's like a murder mystery. You're going to see who killed the head mob, I guess, man. And it's
the boss.
Yeah.
Is the boss.
The boss.
He ain't the boss no more.
No, he's not.
Yeah.
But it's going to be lots of fun. Harkins Mill Winery is going to provide a cash bar with us. Bring your own booze if you really want other things other than wine. The dinner is $55 per person. You can register for it on our website. It's gonna be a good time.
How much money does it take to keep Old Economy Village running annually?
Like over $100,000.
Yeah, and you've got to raise that as a historical site. You've got to raise that, come up with it yourself.
Yep. Yeah, and that's a lot of work.
How difficult is it to come up with new ideas to solve old or continuing problems? Money.
It can be hard because part of it is you sometimes have to spend money to make money, and you have to balance that act. Like, I don't want to spend so much in the budget, but how do I make a good event with such a small amount of dollars to bring in more dollars? And it's a balancing act.
Is that something that you knew anything about when you started working there? Your background, if I remember, was more historical based.
It was marketing, like public relations. So I didn't have too much background when I started in raising money. I've learned a lot in the 5 years I've been there, and it is quite, it's a balance. It's hard. You have to navigate a lot, and when things don't go right, it's kind of hard when things get canceled or you don't raise as much money as you thought you were, or the event is not as well attended as you thought it was going to be.
Are you seeing any regrowth post-COVID?
I think we're starting to a little bit more. Like, I know with our school tours, they're coming back more and more. We're not where we are pre-pandemic, but it's definitely, I think, growing. But it's going to take time to heal from that. And I see that in every industry at this point.
How much do you depend on individual donors versus corporate sponsors?
I depend on all of it.
You depend on all of it, but I remember reading a story, Kaitlyn, that the minute COVID hit, all of the things, relatively speaking, all of the corporate sponsorship money all got shut down because of COVID. Has that started to come back? Because you're right, that's a big bucket if it can come in.
It's coming back slowly.
Okay.
I mean, I would have to say our individual donors were the big reason we got through the pandemic, and I will be forever grateful for that because, man, do I love Old Economy Village. But people can only do so much, and I know a lot of people are still struggling. And it would be nice to get more corporate donations trickling back in.
Was there ever a time where you were sitting during COVID, like a lot of people, going, I wonder if I'm going to have a job when this is done? Was there?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, I worried a bit.
How did you handle it? Because I know you love what you do. Forget the whole, keeping yourself fed side of it. But how did you handle the emotional, I love that job?
I did not handle, I think, it as well as I probably could. There was a lot of times where I'm just like, I'd be laying in bed and I'm like, kind of in a rut. Where am I going to go if this all goes away? That was big. You
weren't alone with your thinking at that time.
No, I know I wasn't. And it was, will I ever find a job I love as much as this? And that was a big part of, because I want to love my job when I work, and I want to have a passion for it. And I have a lot of passion for this place and a lot of love for this place. And if it goes away, I have to find a new passion. And that's hard. That's a hard thing to find.
You look up and go, okay, this thing that I've devoted my life to for whatever reason, now I got to go figure out something else to put forth that same amount of devotion.
Yeah, and that's not always easy to find that.
Now that it's coming back, you seem more upbeat than even usual. Or did it re-energize you? It's like, oh, I'm back where I belong, kid in a candy store again?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, I love that place. And with it being the bicentennial year, I'm just like extra excited because it's just a cool thing to celebrate.
And you're going to be right in amongst it. You're going to help plan it.
Yep.
That's pretty cool. Kaitlyn, I've given up on even saying your last name. We've known each other 3 years. Kaitlyn Karczewski?
You're getting closer.
No, I'm not. You're so nice. Oh, yeah, that's way better. You got a 30 on the quiz instead of a 15. Yay, you. Curtis is going to do news. We haven't even talked about the bicentennial yet. Kaitlyn and I will talk about that. The bicentennial for Old Economy Village is happening, and you should be a part of that.
When accidents and injuries happen, you need the experience and insight of the legal team at Luxembourg, Garbett, Kelly & George. Since 1934, they've been committed to the physical and financial recovery of personal injury victims. Attorney Larry Kelly.
At Luxembourg, Garbett, Kelly & George, we have a culture. And that culture is that we're not going to get out-lawyered. We're going to make sure that we know the law as well as anybody. You don't even have an idea what facts are important until you know the law. Once we identify the law, we know what facts will determine the outcome of this case, and then we go out and investigate those facts to make sure that we have a factual pattern that is supported by the law that could lead to a successful outcome for our clients.
For your initial consultation, call the law firm of Luxembourg, Garbett, Kelly & George at 724-658-8535 or online at lgkg.com. Luxembourg, Garbett, Kelly & George, keeping promises for over 80 years.
Here's Dale Reckless from MRS Physical Therapy as he explains the importance of pre-sports testing to help you reduce the risk of injury.
The intrinsic factors are looking at things within our body that could be causing the problem. So that we start to look at as physical therapists, shoulder range of motion, forces at the elbow, things like that. We're looking at the whole kinetic chain. For example, turning your head side to side. If you have less than 39 degrees of that motion, you have a 9 times increased likelihood of an injury. So these intrinsic factors are both measurable and modifiable. So as a physical therapist, I can take a baseball player or any kind of athlete, I can do my tests on them and see if they're within normal limits or outside of normal limits. And based on research that's been done, I can tell if there's a likelihood of injury or not.
If you need physical therapy for any reason, choose the place your friends and neighbors do. MRS Physical Therapy in Bridgewater and Cranberry. Visit mrsphysicaltherapy.com.
Beaver County Radio's news source, 95.7 and 99.3 FM, along with 1230 WBVP, 1460 WMVA, and streaming at beavercountyradio.com. Here's Curtis Walsh.
Good morning. We can expect partly cloudy skies today, reaching a high near 75 degrees. We'll have a complete Beaver County radio weather forecast after this look at news. Norfolk Southern has agreed to pay $600 million in a class action lawsuit settlement related to the fiery train derailment in February 2023 in East Palestine. The company said Tuesday that the agreement, if approved by the court, will resolve all class action claims within a 20-mile radius from the derailment and, for those residents who choose to participate, personal injury claims within a 10-mile radius from the derailment site. As of this morning, Brighton Township Police report that they have no update about a man who was reported missing over the weekend. Brighton Township Police are continuing to look for 36-year-old Brian Posh. Posh is described as a white male that is 5'11" and 205 pounds. He has hazel eyes, brown hair, both ears pierced, and a tattoo of the word Posh on his right rib area. He was last seen Friday at 11 a.m. operating a white Ford Super Duty with PA registration ZTH 8685. Brighton Township is asking anyone who has seen or talked to Posh to contact them at 724-775-0880. A bear sighting has been reported in the New Brighton area. Video sent in by a listener shows 4 bears strolling through a property in Dougherty Township last night. The video can be viewed on the WBVP-WMBA Facebook page. Monocrest Free Methodist Church in Monaco will be sponsoring a God's Choice Prom for folks with special needs. The prom takes place Monday, May 20th at the Brady's Run Lodge. The cost is $10 per person for the attendees. Volunteers, parents, caregivers, and staff are free. Dinner will be served and attire is casual. The Pennsylvania Association of Broadcasters will induct RMU men's basketball and football play-by-play announcer and Lincoln Park Performing Arts Center Chief Executive Officer Chris Shovlin into its Hall of Fame in a ceremony on Friday, April 26th at the Harrisburg Hilton. In addition to serving as CEO of Lincoln Park Performing Arts Center, Shovlin is a member of and spokesperson for the organizing committee of the Midland Innovation and Technology Charter School. Chris has served for over 37 seasons as the play-by-play voice of of the Robert Morris University Colonials basketball team. He has also worked for a variety of radio stations over his career, including here at WBVP and WMBA. The New Brighton Area Police Department are looking for 2 dogs considered dangerous that are believed to be a golden retriever and a mastiff. They were seen in the area of Rises Grove Road and Cardinal Drive in North Swickley Township and Dougherty Township. If seen, please call County Dispatch at 724-775-0880. And Governor Josh Shapiro and First Lady Lori Shapiro joined NASA astronaut and Pittsburgh native Woody Hoberg, along with hundreds of thousands of others of eclipse watchers from across Pennsylvania and neighboring states to watch the 2024 total solar eclipse. Erie was the only major city in Pennsylvania in the path of totality, and Pennsylvania expected up to 200,000 visitors for the eclipse. While watching in Erie, Governor Shapiro emphasized his commitment to boosting Pennsylvania's tourism industry and business marketing efforts across the Commonwealth with a proposed $18 million increase in the 2024-25 budget. Shapiro's economic development strategy, the first of its kind in nearly 2 decades, prioritizes the tourism industry and adopts a new marketing strategy to showcase all that the Commonwealth has to offer.
Here's the Beaver County forecast.
Mostly cloudy today. We have a chance of showers and thunderstorms in the late afternoon through the early evening. Some of the storms could produce hail and damaging wind gusts. We'll see a high near 74. Showers and thunderstorms are likely tonight. We'll drop down to a mild low of just 56. Rain likely tomorrow. Otherwise, mostly cloudy with a high near 67. And showers and thunderstorms possible in the early afternoon on Thursday. Otherwise, mostly cloudy with a high near 69. I'm Lisa Marie with your Beaver County weather.
On this Tuesday, April the 9th of 2024, at 34 minutes past 9, we've got a temperature of 60 degrees with partly sunny skies in Beaver County. That's a look at the news for now. I'm Curtis Walsh on 99.3 FM and AM 1230 WBVP, also streaming live around the world at beavercountyradio.com.
Talk about what's happening in Beaver County or around the world on Teleforum. 724-843-1888. 724-774-1888. It's Teleforum with Eddie Crow.
We are talking about what the governor was talking about yesterday, except I'm going to go ahead and be honest. I think we're doing a little bit better job. Kaitlyn, yesterday it came up because Governor Shapiro went to Erie and they all stared up in the sun and right. And he was talking about tourism. And it got me thinking, what is tourism in PA? And I was a complete bonehead. I thought, okay, on the edges of the state, Commonwealth, we got the pro sports and we got the big city stuff and we got all that. What else is there? And today is the day that you join me from Old Economy Village to tell me what else is there. And it's wonderful to see you again. The Bicentennial, when are the official days for the Bicentennial celebration? Is it all summer?
We're going to do things kind of all year long and kind of fit our programming into the 200-year celebration. But specifically, the date of the celebration is June 8th and 9th.
Okay, so we got a couple months.
Yeah.
Are you ready? Are you going to be ready? Is enough getting done? For those of you not watching this live feed on Facebook, she's making faces like, oh my God.
We'll be ready. It's just the lead up to it has been chaotic and trying to fit all these moving parts together in a way that will be a great event. And it's daunting because we're bicentennial 200 years.
Sure.
I don't want to mess it up.
You say there's all these moving parts. What are the different moving parts? Is it the logistics? Is it getting people scheduled? It is specific events working around other specific events?
All of the above.
All of it? Are you making enough progress where you feel like, okay, by the time June gets here, we're going to have it? Or can you make progress? Or is there we got to wait and see on this or that?
I think we're going to have a great event. Like looking at it now, I think we have a good amount of stuff that will be a great event regardless of anything. But I mean, there's still some parts that need to be filled in, and my hope is that they're filled in, I guess.
Do you know what they're going to be filled in with? Or are you waiting? I
have some finalized things, and it's a lot.
Okay.
So first, I do want to talk about that during this year, we are releasing a history book. It has images of economy and Ambridge from 1824 to 1924.
Okay.
So
your cookbook was bonkers, wasn't it? People lost their minds, and those got gone.
Oh, yeah. We have more now. So if anyone wants those cookbooks,
you sold out of the first printing.
Oh, yeah. We sold out in like 2 weeks. Mm-hmm. So we have the second printing now. So if anyone wants that cookbook, stop by the gift shop. We have some. So we have a history book coming out this year later. And then the weekend is the big, June 8th and 9th is the big to-do. We are going to have a lot. It's going to be free admission. So people can come and go.
Kaitlyn, open with that. Open. Everything's free.
Everything's free.
Everything's free.
Please come.
It's called an attention getter. All right. So June 8th and 9th, what happens for free on June 8th and 9th?
At Old Academy Village, you are going to have music all weekend long. We're going to have vendors. And then we have like a pretty awesome list of demonstrators, different from what we normally have. So we'll have our usuals like woodworking and blacksmithing and something happening in the community kitchen. But we're also going to have like coopering and pottery. And we're going to have some honey and bee stuff, weaving, printing, sheep to shawl. We're hopefully getting a petting zoo. There will be a Civil War encampment.
You're not going to shave the sheep in front of the little kids at the petting zoo, right? That could be traumatic.
It's 2 different sheep.
2 different sheep. There's petting sheep and there's shearing sheep.
Exactly. There's 2 different kinds of sheep here, okay? And then there'll be garden activities, tours, and then we're supposed to have a harvest beer and cider garden as well. So that's just like what I have confirmed.
And that's going to be all weekend.
Yeah, all weekend long.
Where do you find a Cooper?
So one of our vendors that comes for Christmas at the Village apparently has coopering skills, so he said he'd do it. So.
And if you don't know what a Cooper is, it's a barrel maker, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Because there's not a lot of call for Coopers on a daily basis anymore. Those big blue plastic barrels pretty much took care of that.
Yeah, that they did. So.
That is so cool.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So are the sheep are the shearing sheep allowed to try out for the petting sheep part?
I'm not entirely sure.
We need to get that sorted out because yeah. It is Teleforum. Kaitlyn Karczewski from Old Economy Village is my guest. How long have you been looking forward to the frantic world you're living in now? Because you're 2 months away from 200 year celebration.
I mean, it's been planning for a while, but I think I got the most excited once January hit, and I was like, this is the year. This is the year. This is where the countdown starts. This is the moment, and I'm just beyond excited about it.
Talking about the tourism side of it and the getting people to visit, as a society, are we getting better at recognizing the jewels in our own backyard, or do we still struggle with that? Because that's the word you're trying to get out every day.
Mm-hmm. I think we still struggle.
Why do you think that is?
I think it's one of those things where it's right in your backyard. Oh, I'll get to it eventually. It's always going to be there. I don't have to go today. And I don't think people make what's right next to them a priority. They're looking outward instead of within the community. Because for a lot of people, vacation isn't staying home, or going on a trip isn't staying home. It's going out of your circle.
It's going to the Jersey Shore.
Exactly.
Or the Outer Banks.
Yeah, it's going to the beach. It's going to Florida. It's going to a national park on the other side of the country. It's not that little museum down the street from me. And again, I think it's also you feel like it's always going to be there. And that's not the case.
No. You said earlier there were questions about Old Economy Village surviving through COVID.
Yeah. And it can shut down any minute. It's a small museum. And I know that a lot of small new museums and small nonprofits, they did struggle through the pandemic. And some, unfortunately, went away because there wasn't enough support.
What can I learn taking a tour at Old Economy Village? I'm not talking about the specifics of how to Cooper. Mm-hmm. What's the benefit to me? What am I going to take away knowing about the past that's going to benefit me in the present?
You're going to learn that people aren't so different from today from the past.
What, they were idiots then?
Oh my gosh, yeah.
All right. Now we're getting somewhere. The harmonists were boneheads. Is that what you're saying?
Not exactly, but
Okay.
you do, like, yes, it's very cool to learn about the historic trades, and it's really cool to learn about how the harmonists got here and that whole story. But the other half of it is learning that they were also just people, and the ability to connect with folks that aren't around anymore, I think, is a big, important part for us. I mean, I'm never going to understand what it's like to be a woman in the 1830s. I'm not going to, I don't know. I live in the 2024. Like, I'm here with all this cool stuff and with a lot of different opportunities. But I can understand what it's like to want to find a community. I can understand what it's like, to fall in love. And I can relate to an 1830s woman in that regard, to some degree. And I think it's really important that we do connect with the past in that way. I think we learn a lot from those people back then. They've taught us stuff. We just have to learn it.
Too much time do we spend looking forward and not enough time looking back for reference points to move forward?
I think we spend a lot of time in that hustle mentality of right now. You have to get this done so we can do this in the future. And when we look at the past, it's never in a way that is learning, I guess. It's when I look back, and I'm guilty of this too, like, I'm like, oh my God, why did I do that? Or I'm more upset about have regrets. I don't always look back to see what can I learn, what can I gain from learning about what happened back then. Instead, I'm just more selfish, I guess. And I think we struggle with that very me mentality. And we don't open our eyes up to what has happened. How can we learn from that going forward?
Do you have to trick people to learn? Do you have to make them not know they're learning to get them to learn?
To a degree.
Do you?
Sometimes. Some of our events, like our After Dark programming, when we bring people into Ghost Hunt, those people are like, oh my God, ghost. But then as they're there, they were like, oh, what's this building? And then you're kind of trickling in history as they're there to learn about ghost hunting and trying to find a ghost. So in a way, there is a little bit of trickery with it, but it's just getting that first hook. Because once you're there, you're like,
history too.
This is kind of cool.
When you look back at history, you were talking about being a woman in the 1830s. When you look back, does it give you a sense of, oh, thank goodness I live now? Or does it give you a sense, or maybe both, of we haven't really changed all that much at all, like you said earlier?
It's a bit of both.
Is it?
Yeah. Like 1830s, women probably didn't have nearly as many rights as I had. I have right now. So there's a lot of like, thank God I'm here in this time period. I can wear shorts and it's totally cool.
The suffragette movement came by between.
Yeah. And I can vote and I can do all that kind of cool stuff. But I think in a lot of spaces, there's still a lot of old attitudes and outdated attitudes about women that you still kind of face that I can kind of relate with 1830s women. I mean, in the Harmony Society, women weren't supposed to learn instruments.
Why?
Because that was a man thing.
But a man was, I mean, we're talking about, okay, I never knew that. And I'm kind of stumped as to, did they give a reason, or was that enough of a reason in 1835? It's a man thing?
As much as I know.
Because the dude in charge said?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
And then also, like, women had to wear those dresses and be modest and all those things. And I think some of those ideas that women can't do certain things, outdated ideas, still kind of carry through to today. Less so, but so there are ways I can relate to an 1830s woman in that regard. But I also be like, oh my gosh, I'm free of most of that.
The bicentennial for Old Economy Village is coming up, what'd you say, June 8th and 9th?
Yes.
All right. Where did the harmonists get it wrong? This is a big picture history question, because I know they moved, like a lot of religious sects, moved somewhere, didn't work out, would move somewhere, would move back. I know they were in New Harmony, Indiana for a while.
Yep.
What happened that we're talking about them historically rather than current events?
I mean, I feel like celibacy kind of threw a whole
I forgot about that.
wrench into that whole like longevity
That's not
thing.
That's not a good recruiting tool, is it?
No, it's not. I think that's where them dying out was pretty much the end of their time, which is kind of disappointing to a degree because they were successful capitalists. I mean, they had their hands in everything. And I imagine if they were still here, they would be at the forefront of technology. I mean, that was what they liked.
So in business, they were doing a great job and they were forward thinking. And we've talked about that before. Mm-hmm. This place in Ambridge, Old Economy Village, that was the center of capital for the entire area.
Yep. I mean, I don't think Beaver Falls, in general, Beaver County, wouldn't be what it is today without the influence and the monetary success that the Harmonists had. Like, I truly think we would be looking at a totally different landscape.
Yeah. What else is going on that you can tell me about for the bicentennial?
So I know outside of Old Economy Village, I know the town's doing a couple of things as well, and I know that will grow. But the list I do have right now is there will be carriage rides provided by the Historic District. Mm-hmm. There'll be a hop on and off trolley, so you'll be getting some history on that trolley while you're going around. And then just a couple other things. I don't have any confirmation, so I can't go too far. But the entirety of the community is getting involved, and which is absolutely wonderful. Just to celebrate us in 200 years.
Can we keep the trolley after this is over and just let it run in Ambridge? Because that could help people out a lot. Me.
I would love a trolley system. Yeah. I would love that because I know in Salem, Massachusetts, they have a trolley system that you can hop on and off throughout the Historic District. It is great, and I would like to emulate that here.
Kaitlyn, is there anything that you wanted to make sure people knew that we didn't talk about? Because we covered a lot of stuff.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. There's a whole list of things. Honestly, I just want people to know that you should come by and see us this year. There's a lot that's going on, and there'll be more programming added to the calendar as the year goes on. And we have a lot to offer, and I would love to see more people show up. Who
comes up with the programming?
All of us.
Just whatever. You sit and have brainstorming sessions, and you say, what about this and what about that?
Yep.
And it's just that basic and simple and local. Mm-hmm. That's great. All right. Give the website, give the Facebook page, make sure everybody knows you've got a speaking engagement tomorrow night. You've got a dinner this weekend. And then coming up, I'm going to love it. Here's how I know it's spring.
Okay.
You guys clue me in. I look out my porch and I see the ladies with the bonnets and I see the school buses parked on 13th Street. It's spring.
Yep.
So, but you guys are the harbinger of spring for me. When I see bonnet ladies, it's warming up. That's good. Anything. Okay. Website. All of the information, how they can get it.
Okay, you can find a lot of information on our website at www.oldeconomyvillage.org. And for the most up-to-date stuff, check out our Facebook at Old Economy Village. You'll see a lot on there. I'm always doing things on there, so please check that out.
I think I saw you giving a tour of the gardens last fall, maybe.
Maybe.
I remember the video of you walking. I don't know. You were doing this Julie Andrews dance thing.
Oh, yeah.
That was the key to you to remember.
Yeah. I was running around the garden and rolling around in the grass and just having a good time for the internet.
Yeah, when your sect is celibate, you got to find other ways to amuse yourself. Sure.
Exactly.
I love talking to you. Anything you guys at any point that you need, Old Economy Village, please let us know. The station is going to be part of the bicentennial celebration that you were talking about. The city part.
Perfect.
Anything else?
I think that's everything. I mean, further down the line, everyone knows about our Christmas event. Everyone loves Christmas at the Village. This year, it's going to be extra exciting because it's 200 years of Christmas.
I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
Okay.
So just keep that on your radar. I know it's in December and it's only April, but that's going to be a big to-do, and I'm really excited about it.
Are you really excited about everything? You are one of the most upbeat people that I've ever dealt with. I am stupefied when people are... You're like this all the time, aren't you?
I am. I'm really perky and annoying all the time.
Well, you can come visit and be perky anytime you want.
Perfect.
I'm going to try one more time. Kaitlyn Karczewski.
Karczewski. There you go.
How many times have I interviewed you? At least half a dozen, right?
Yeah, about.
Think I'd have figured this out by now, wouldn't you?
I mean, you're on par with most other people. They don't
That does not give me feelings of comfort. You're as dumb as the other people that can't say it. How about from now on, it's Kaitlyn from Old Economy Village.
That's perfect.
Kaitlyn from Old Economy Village has been my guest. Karczewski. Jeez.
Tune in to WBVP, WMBA, and 99.3 FM during this and every second Thursday of the month at 9 a.m. for a wrap.